when it comes to things like, like the workforce, or when it comes to being taken seriously, like voicing their opinions, their ideas, trying to break into like certain fields. Now they're just, instead of actually viewing the woman as a whole human being, they're judged only on the basis of
it's kind of hard. Hold on. There's no logical connection there.
To the advantage of women, largely, though.
No, hold on. You just said that woman sleeping around is directly related to her getting a job. That's the kind of logic you just made.
If I am trying to, and this is like,
is body count on resumes nowadays?
Can I please finish?
Am I missed out on that?
Can I please finish
my
sentence?
Go ahead.
Okay. If I am trying to apply to a professional job, and let's say I made the mistake of having OnlyFans or something in the past, and somebody sends that to like my employer, or if somebody's like, oh, like the way that she dresses, or she gives off like vibes or whatever, people might see that as like, oh, like unprofessional, and she might be even like let's say she's extremely smart, intelligent, has multiple degrees, whatever. Because of those mistakes in the past, now it's going to be really hard for her to be taken seriously in a professional sense.
Sounds like the consequences of your own actions.
That's like the opposite of true.
Wait. So wait. Like, how would a guy not experience the exact same degradation if he had an OnlyFans? And they're like, oh, this guy used to do like feet milling. I don't know what the fuck they do. But, and that was sent to an employer. How would that like,
Well, the perception...
Wait, hold on. How would that like unequally affect the man in a negative way, the same way it would affect the woman in a negative way? Because using that as an example to prove that men are using the patriarchy to keep women down. So that example doesn't hold up because it holds up to both sides of the sexes.
Well, generally speaking, when a man sleeps around a lot, and we can even go to Fresh and Fit, we can go to all these other red pill spaces, they are claimed to be high value men. Like, they are claimed to be like these men who are, like all the men want to be like them. Like, oh, you should continue sleeping around. Look at all these strategies. I am very appreciative that right now that this space doesn't agree with that. But the truth of the matter is that in all these other spaces promoting the red pill, they say the complete opposite. They say men should sleep around a lot. That's good for them.
Where during the job interview process do they ask you to bring up your OnlyFans history? Is it like the hiring manager? Is it the HR?
Is this the level of discourse that we're on?
Where at what point during the client interaction?
There's background checks that include your internet history, and if you choose to do OnlyFans, that's in your internet footprint forever. That is a choice that you made. That's the example that you brought up, and in your belief as a feminist, women have full agency over their sexuality since they've been liberated. It's only fair then to hold them accountable for making a decision.
Can I say,
like that.
OnlyFans aside, I personally would not advocate for employers to go looking to see how qualified the candidates are by the first thing that they're searching up after they see the name on the resume. Let's see if they have an OnlyFans account.
It comes up pretty quickly
and
when you look at somebody's background.
It wouldn't just be that as part of their history any more than I think it's relevant for an employer to be like, let's look through their Facebook, let's look through their Twitter, through their YouTube. Every employer is allowed to freely associate with who they want, but I would criticize any business person who thinks that it's prudent to spend their time scanning through candidates like Instagram and social media
internet
thing.
history?
Well, yeah.
So wait.
Yeah, I think what's more relevant is their credentials and their resume.
You don't think it's prudent for employers to care about whether or not one of their employees has OnlyFans?
Yeah, I think
that's not prudent.
Wait, hold on.
Like if I'm a CEO,
but generally speaking, I don't think it's prudent or like a fruitful use of an employer's time to like specifically comb through their prospective like applicants' internet history.
Okay, internet history and OnlyFans are two different things. Okay?
OnlyFans can be part of your internet.
So if I'm a CEO and I'm hiring somebody, let's say I'm hiring a salesperson to close high-ticket deals and they're talking with important people on a daily basis, and I'm sending that salesperson to go speak with these people, and if any of those people that they speak to look up that person's name and they find pornography of them all over the internet, obviously they're going to take me and my company far less seriously if I have somebody working like that for me. How can you say that that's not important?
Just like, oh, well, they shouldn't. They shouldn't.
No,
think
I
that
said every employer and business owner is allowed to freely associate and hire whoever they think so. If they really think that that's at odds with their company's profits, then don't hire that candidate. But I would be very suspect as to whether or not that's actually the case.
So then, wait a minute.
It may very well be the case that the scenario that you're describing does happen, and if that's the case, then I wouldn't expect an employer to act any other way.
So okay, cool, great. So if this is not a relevant point, then why did she bring this up as a relevant point?
I like how almost every other person in the panel understood what I was saying and maybe disagreed with what I was saying, but at least understood it, versus you, who keep saying like, oh no, you think a person like should like hire OnlyFans, when it's like, hey, no, like what I'm trying to say is that there are different standards for men and women when it comes to like sex. That's all I was trying to say. And yet you keep trying to
be different standards for people who are different.
No, that's
Men
a
and
good
women are
question.
different, so they are held to different standards because of the objective differences between male and female sexuality.
Bingo.
Yeah, and
What would you say to that?
we can
Bingo.
have this conversation right now. I just want to point out that I appreciate you guys actually bringing that to a conversation than trying to straw man me over and over again.
Okay,
Well,
so
then we
what would your
straw man.
response be to that?
Would do different, so just
Women
to make
and men
sure.
are treated differently because of the objective differences between men and women, especially in regards to their sexuality.
How is the patriarchy holding women down? I'm still waiting.
Oh yeah, let's come back to that.
Yeah, why are
let
we
me
using
hold
the
on?
word
Let me
patriarchy like
redirect.
it's a
Let me
bad
redirect
word?
the
How is it
conversation.
holding
Based
down?
word.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
wait.
hasn't been
So
like
hold on.
holding
I
society
got
together.
a
Men
couple
invented
questions.
OnlyFans.
I did want to hear Pixie's
Hold on.
response to that.
Hold on. I got a couple questions here. Let me try to get through them, and we'll have a little back and forth. Okay, so under the patriarchy, are women oppressed?
Yes.
Are men the oppressors?
They're not only.
Jesus.
Don't use the words in vain.
donated $300. Those two feminists are so far gone. Life has consequences. It's called reality. And you two need a clear dose of it. Employers want morally sound employees. News flash doing of /sex isn't moral. Also, can you two form a valid argument instead of rambling?
Thank you, Bads EXE. I think that's
Wait, can I
Victor.
respond to the donor real quick?
Yeah.
Something that's interesting to me is that, like, I think that there is a valid conversation to be had about doing employment background checks. However, not hiring somebody because they do OnlyFans. You could argue that, hey, I think the corporation should take a stand and say, we don't police our individual employees' backgrounds. Now, you can say that's unreasonable. However, when corporations turn that same lens and they get very woke about employees, you conservative people get really upset about that. For instance, if 10 years ago you tweeted shit about being a Nazi or whatever, or you tweeted edgy jokes, you guys would stand up and you go, hold on, corporations shouldn't be holding employees accountable for stuff they said on their Twitter 10 years ago. But it sounds like if somebody found an OnlyFans you did 10 years ago, you'd be saying, well, it's totally fair game to make it so that that person can't work at that
Yeah,
company.
doing OnlyFans is
I didn't
worse
say-
than
wait,
saying
that's
not a fair-
severance
that's not a fair
pay.
argument.
One at a time, let's go. Because
Okay, let me just say mine real quick
People
because
are
it's
getting
easy.
fired from their jobs for saying something is gay on Twitter 10 years ago, or
Sure.
like
Yeah.
making
Which- but
making a
the reason-
mildly
but hold on,
homophobic
but hold on,
joke.
but we said
That's
earlier-
a totally different thing than
No,
like
no,
espousing
no.
national socialism.
No,
or
it's
something.
actually totally not. Because what if it is the case that your salesman is doing business with another company, and let's say that the person that they're interfacing with is gay, they find out that your salesperson tweeted homophobic stuff 10 years ago, and now you've got like a blue chip company that doesn't want to do business with you because you hire people that have been homophobic. They could use the exact same argument that you use about not hiring the OnlyFans people. Now, hold on. To be clear, I'm not saying that we should fire all those people. I'm just saying that back in my day, okay, we didn't peruse all the online history of everybody to decide who gets hired or who's not. I think that if you're not on the clock, then the employer shouldn't have anything to do with your shit. But it is interesting that we were very selective about what we want policed in a person's history.
And that's how you end
This
up working
goes
at
back to
Starbucks
the
the rest
original
of your
point
life.
that I was making.
I appreciate that, Destiny.
All right, bye.
Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.